right, let's talk about the Scout 3 by Drive. I'm gonna show you guys how to remove the drive tire. You do have, this is a 3 wheel, so you have one in the front, which that's pretty basic right here. You just remove that nut and the whole wheel is gonna come off. And then back here is where you're gonna have your 2 drive wheels. Now these do have a key in here. And what that key does, it engages to the motor, so whenever you're driving, that's what holds the motor in place and it drives forward. Not in place, but that's what the key does. It holds into the motor, so whenever you drive, the whole wheel moves. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. So I'll go ahead and remove the battery pack in the back, that way I have more room. So I'm going to put it on neutral for a little bit and bring that forward. Bring that forward until it drops. Okay, right there. We're gonna let it lock it up right there. I'm gonna remove the battery pack and I'm just gonna set this down right here. I am gonna remove the back, so I'm just gonna lift up and that's gonna come off. Perfect. Okay, so then from here we're gonna get to the first wheel, which is gonna have the hub, which a lot of times these hub do have an indentation to where you could just stick your flathead in there. This one doesn't have it, but we can still make it work. We'll just go in there, pop it out, and I believe this one is probably going to be a number 10. I don't think it's a half, but it looks like a half actually. Let me see. Yeah, so it is. So once you pop that out, all you have to do is remove this bolt. It comes off. Now it's very important that you do have your washers in here, because if you don't, like I said, there's a key in here and I'll show you guys here in a minute, but this washer right here basically holds that key from popping out. If you don't have this washer and it's just like that, most likely that key's gonna pop out and you're gonna just freewheel the whole way, so you don't want that. Okay, so since we have that out, I'm just gonna kind of, let me see if I can bring this up a little bit higher. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down right there, and this whole wheel is gonna come off. Check it out. Boom. There we go. So there's your wheel, your drive tire, and then that key that I'm telling you guys about, it's actually stuck. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me pull it out so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'll just use one of these. Pop it out. It does have grease, which is good. The grease definitely helps. Like if you're going out there and this scooter or the drive tire has been on this wheel on this transaxle for a long time, it's very hard to pull out. So greasing it definitely helps. Okay, so let me put it on. It is on freewheel. So I'm just gonna lift this up a little bit so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this is your transaxle. That's your neutral lever. Now this right here is where that key goes in here. Okay. This little key right here, it pops in there just like that, and that right there is what holds the tire from spinning, which is right there. Okay, because what happens is if you don't have that key, and I'll show you guys, if I remove that key and I pop this wheel in, okay, I'm gonna pop it in. It should just go in there pretty simple. Okay. If you guys notice, the wheel is just freewheel now because that little key's not in there. Okay, now once you pop that key back in there, bad camera guy. Once you pop this key back in there, and of course you're gonna know which way it goes because there's an indentation or a groove right in here, and that's where your hub or your your hub, I guess, it pops in there, and then the end side is just flat. Okay, so this little groove right there, you're gonna attach it, line it up. Terrible. You're gonna line it up to that hole, hold that in place, and then once it goes in, hopefully you guys can see that it dropped. Now the wheel is not going to spin, okay, because that key is in there, and that's what's holding the transaxle from moving unless you put it on freewheel. with this neutral, with your lever, then it will spin. Hopefully that didn't confuse you guys, because it confused me. But anyways, okay, so there we go, the wheel's back on. We're gonna put your locking washer first, just like that, and then we're gonna put your washer, your flat washer, and we're gonna put it back on. And there you go. That's how you replace the wheel and put a new one on there. Hopefully that helps and I didn't confuse you guys.